Yay, there we are. All right. I have a very, very special guest for tonight. It took us quite a while to coordinate this because she's way over in the Philippines. So I'm in Wisconsin here in the USA. It's 6 o'clock at night. Guess what time it is in the Philippines? 7 a.m. So it's very, very special for me because she got up extra early. She had some coffee already. She's like all raring to go. So please welcome a big round of applause for Penny Sicangco Bongato.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Dave, for having me here.
And
yes, it's 7 o'clock.
It is
in the morning.
Thank you so much for getting up early. I appreciate it.
Oh.
We've been, like I said, we've been trying to coordinate this for a while too. And for the people that don't know you, you are a speaker. You run workshops. You have a very hefty goal that we're going to talk about in a second, and you have your book Career Shift.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you are multifaceted, and you in the Philippines are just like huge. You're like the Tony Robbins of the Philippines.
I wish I were. Yes, I've been very, very busy over the last couple of months and years.
You're coming up pretty close to that, though. So let's talk about your goal first. You set a goal for. Go ahead. You tell them.
So my name is Penny. I am from Manila, the Philippines, the center capital of the Philippines. And it was raining this morning, and I hope you don't hear the rain. So the rain stopped. And my goal for this year is to touch, inspire, help, transform 100,000 Filipino lives, because I want Filipinos to dream big and even bigger. The Philippines has been colonized by foreigners for the past 450 years, and it's time for us to taste success, not to taste failure. So that's my goal for this year.
That is amazing. That is amazing. And where are you at so far for the year?
I just counted it last night. I'm up close to 25,000.
25,000. That's really huge, because you're doing your own workshops in a lot of cases. You get hired in for some of them, correct? Like to corporations and that?
That's right. I get hired for corporations. I do a lot of pro bono. I'm giggling because I just did a Come As You Will Be party last night in my class. So I teach in college. So I did a workshop with them on a vision board workshop, and my final exam is Come As You Will Be party.
For those that don't know, explain what a Come As You Will Be party is.
Okay. So I'm a Canfield certified trainer under Jack Canfield, author of Chicken Soup for the Soul and the Success Principles. I've been a Canfield trainer since 2015. So part of the Canfield Success Principles is really helping people get from where they are to where they want to be. And for Filipinos, we make do with whatever we have. And as we said, we're a very resilient culture, very resilient people. We can make do with whatever we have. And I want Filipinos to dream bigger. So part of it is goal setting. Part of the goal setting is dream or have hefty goals, big, hairy, audacious goals. And the end of it is feel the feeling as if you were feeling your goals right now. So last night, I had my final exam with my class. I teach in the university. And the final exam was Come As You Will Be party 5 years from now. And it was fun. They were dressed up as if they were already what they wanted to be. One was a famous actress, and she's an actress now, but a small-time actress. And she wants to be a very well-known actress. So I want Filipinos to dream even bigger. I'll tell you a story, Dave.
Go ahead.
What Filipinos, what our culture is. And some Filipinos might disagree with this, but this is in general. I always say that if our culture, are given a short blanket, we make do. We curl up. We make the blanket fit. But if you, an American or any Westerner, get a short blanket, what do?
We go and buy it.
You buy a bigger one or ask for a bigger one. We don't do that. We curl up and fit. I don't have problems with that because I'm short, but the others will still curl up. And I want Filipinos not to curl up anymore. I want them to ask for a bigger one. I want us, our culture, to really shine and show the world that Filipinos can. And I'm sure there are lots of Filipinos in Wisconsin and other parts of the US, very good nurses, very good teachers. Why do they go abroad? Find a better job, but there are jobs in the Philippines as well. So I want them to dream. I want our culture to dream big, not just for us individually, but for our country.
Yeah. I can see that, and that speaks to a lot of different cultures too, outside the United States.
Yes, in developing countries or in emerging countries, in countries where there are lots of poverty, or particularly in countries wherein we have been colonized. I don't know if you know the Philippine history. We've been colonized by Spain for 400 years. And after Spain, we had Britain for 2 years. And then came the Americans, and then the Japanese. And then MacArthur came back and saved us from the Japanese. And we got our independence on July 4th, 1945, I think. But we changed our Independence Day, not to July 4th, because that's your Independence Day. So we changed our Independence Day to the first Independence Day that we had against the Spaniards.
So what day is that on?
June 12th.
June 12th.
Mm-hmm. So I want Filipinos to dream bigger. I even wrote to Jack, and I told Jack Canfield, no, my dream now is 100,000 lives. And next year, maybe 1 million. If I set a goal of 5,000, I'll reach it right away. So I dream big. And as not Tony Robbins, Richard Branson said, if your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough.
Yeah. Very true. And so you're doing it through, now let's talk briefly about your book, Career Shift.
My book, yes.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, there.
Little plug for you there. And anyone can get that on Amazon, I'm guessing?
Yes, it's now available in Amazon Kindle. It's available locally at our big bookstores, National Bookstore and Fully Booked, but it was just made available at Amazon.
And so tell us about your book.
Okay. Career Shift, follow your passion. It's the follow your passion that's important. I started my career as an engineer, would you believe? I finished 2 engineering degrees. I finished industrial management engineering and chemical engineering, and I'm a licensed chemical engineer. So I did practice my engineering degree. However, somewhere along the line, I moved to a company called Kodak. You remember Kodak?
Mm-hmm.
Eastman Kodak at Rochester, New York. And at Kodak, I was moved from an IE work to business analysis to IS or IT to customer service. And finally, I was moved to HR. So I did a lot of career shifts in my life. And I realized what struck me most in all the shifts that I made is I was following my passion. I was realizing what I was meant to do. I was finding out the why of my life. And that started it all. So this book is not a one-time reading book. This is a workbook. So you'll see here items that you'll have to answer. There's a lot of learnings that you can do here. It's a workbook. So I have a lot of stories of people who have shifted careers from IT to yoga instructor, from retired branch manager to a call center agent of a bank because he thought he was going to apply as a bank manager, only to find out that the opening was a call center agent. And he took that. And I have a story here of someone who is my student and wants to be a lawyer, is taking up HR, wants to be a lawyer. So a lot of different stories here in my book and a lot of reflection. So it's not a one-time reading. It's something for you to think about, something for you to do on the plane, perhaps, if you are traveling. But you have to be very honest with yourself in answering this book.
So that gives you the ways of finding your life purpose. Am I
Yes.
getting that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
tell us about how that life purpose in a couple of groups this came up as far as life purpose. Tell us how a life purpose can change you.
That's a very powerful question. You know, in my life, I've just done things just because. Just because wanted to find a job that pays well. I wanted to practice my engineering degree. I wanted to learn a lot of things, but I didn't know what my life purpose is. I was just going through the motions. I didn't have much goals. I know my financial goals, but life purpose is something that, you know, something that you're passionate about, the power of your why. Why are you here in this world? What talents have the Lord or the Master or the higher being has given you to do? And what is it that you can do every day without, even if without getting paid? You know, I know I need to earn a living. However, I do things that I need to do even if I don't get paid for it. And some of my workshops, I said I can do every day because I just love it. Because my life purpose, I'll just tell you, my life purpose is to be able to inspire and help others be the best that they can be. Okay, one step back. Filipinos first. Filipinos first. I'm a proud Filipino. I've never lived outside the Philippines, though I have been able to stay in the US for 1 month because of work. But I just love being in the country where I was born. And life purpose really drove me into what I am passionate about. And there is, seeing Marco there, and there is a passion test that could help you find out what your passion is for you to be able to know your life purpose.
There, and inside your book, I'm sure you take us through a life purpose exercise.
Yes, I take you to the passion test exercise.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yep.
You got a couple of fans here. Frederick wants to say hi.
Hi, Ricky. Yeah, they're my friends from the Philippines. Hi, Ricky.
Mary Beth.
Hi, Moniz. Yes, they're my colleagues at work.
Oh,
formerly at work.
You're a rock star wherever you go. So
I have many friends. I believe that your network is your net worth, and I'm just grateful. I'm very grateful with all the friends I have and how they have helped me.
So how do you take so they can take your book and do this, but do you incorporate your book in your workshops then, or how do you incorporate that?
Yes, I incorporate my workbook and my workshops. There is a chapter in my workbook that says rediscover your passion, because I don't know if you will believe this, but I call it a dual citizen. What is a dual citizen? No, I'm not a Filipino and an American. I'm a Filipino and I am a senior citizen. And a senior citizen in the Philippines is someone who is over 60 years old. Would you believe I'm 60?
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that. I do not believe it.
Yeah, I try not disclose my age because I call myself a feeling millennial. That's a new term for you. And I have here in my book, where is it? And I've done a lot of vision board workshop, and it says paint your future.
Mm-hmm.
So paint your future is really doing your vision board and taking action. So if you saw my post in Facebook, I did about seven vision board workshops over the last month, from general manager of a big hotel chain to the person who's doing the pest control, no read, no write. So for all levels in the organization, and I find that very fulfilling for me. It's just a different experience.
Isn't it amazing at a vision board workshop that everyone has different dreams and different goals that they want to do, and it's amazing how you really can't go, oh, that person's going to want the mansion on the hill, or that person wants, it's, you just can't envision what's inside a person until then they start like picking out the pictures. I'm not sure how you run, and we'll get to that in a second, how you run your workshops, but it's like as they start cutting out pictures and having talks, I mean, because everybody starts discussing and talking about their goals and things of that sort within the area. And it's like, it's amazing how everybody, you just can't forecast what's, you know, lingering in the back of someone's mind of where they want to live next, or where they want to go, or what type of house, and all that good stuff. How do you run your workshops? Do you do a example in the beginning and then you like just cut them loose, or what? How do you do those vision board workshops?
You'll be surprised, Dave. And this is where I've seen the difference between cultures. And I did a workshop, no, it's not a workshop, a 2-hour talk in a company. Hi, Noel. Somebody saying hi. Did a workshop for a 2-hour talk for a company. And I said, you know, goals like getting rich. And somebody raised their hand, and said, Miss Penny, not all people want to get rich. I said, okay, abundance. You may be abundant on your wealth or in your health. It may not be financially rich. So that changed my mindset on not everyone wants to be a millionaire. People just want to live a simple life. And when I do my shortened version of my workshop, I give them pre-work. So I give them pre-work for them to set their goals and for them to bring pictures already. And I give an example of how a vision board looks like. And I give my own vision board as an example. So I did a vision board workshop just 2 days ago, Tuesday night. And we had 51 people in that workshop.
Wow.
51. And I just tell you, my friends are getting mad at me. Why? Because I'm pricing it low. Why is the price low? Because I want more Filipinos to attend. I want more Filipinos to dream. Of course, dreaming is not the end of it all. You have to take action. But the first step is really dreaming and visualizing it. My friends were so surprised when at the end of the workshop, I said, okay, next month we'll have a come as you will be party. And my friends would say, what is that? I've never done that in corporate before. And it just came out. So vision board for me needs preparation, especially if it's just a vision board workshop. So I give them pre-work.
Yeah, I think that's wise too, because otherwise on the spur of the moment, you come up with, I know when I initially would set down goals or aspirations, and, you know, you start big, you know, and then as you start making that list longer and longer, it start getting down to the heartfelt things, right? Do you experience that?
Yes. In some of my workshops, like what we learned in the success principles, you ask, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Initially, it's the superficial thing. I want a new watch, a Rolex, or whatever it is. I want a new car. I want a new house. Then it becomes something deeper. I want to learn this. I want to be able to travel to Machu Picchu or some other places in the world. I'd like to be able to help the poor and time to give back. That's why it's important for them to do the pre-work especially if it's a 4 hour or a 3 hour vision board workshop, because I want them to really think, I want my participants to really think what is it that they really want in life over the next 3 years, 5 years, or so. So
Yeah.
for me, I tell you, I plan to live another 40 years. So that makes it me 100. So,
Yeah.
so I still have a lot of dreams and aspirations in life.
I believe it. You're in the prime.
I know, when I retired, quote unquote, retired from my full-time job last year, I asked myself, why did I do it only now? Why did I retire only now? Why am I following my passion only now? I answered it right away because my job, I work for an association. It's called IT and Business Process Association of the Philippines. So when you call your favorite phone provider or you call your bank, chances are the contact center is in the Philippines. And I help build. Yeah, you've experienced that, right?
Yeah.
It's either Philippines or India.
Mhm.
So I help the industry. I help the industry grow. So when I ask myself, why am I retiring? Why did I retire only now? I can answer that as well. Because at that time, my purpose was to help the country. My life purpose was to help the country and help give more jobs to Filipinos. Now that I'm doing this kind of work, I still want to help the country, but now I want to help the Filipinos, the people who are in the country to make their lives even better. So it's never too late.
So when you were working for that agency, that company, and before that, when you were an engineer, what was this always stirring inside of you that you wanted to go out and do workshops? You always want, it's like, were you like, this was a dream and aspiration that was like lingering in the back of your head, and then it's like now it just can be fulfilled? Or how did that come to be?
I wasn't like Justin Bieber that at 2 years old he wanted to sing. No, no. I'm just like a millennial, not knowing what I wanted to do. So I was just doing where I was being led to. So I did a lot of different work, getting promoted here and there, following where my boss tells me. And by the way, since I am not a millennial, I'm not Gen X, I'm a baby boomer, I follow. But then I realized in all my jobs, there were times that I wasn't happy because I wanted something else.
Mhm.
And I'm such a lifelong learner. I'll give you a story of lifelong learning. I started my master's degree in 1982, and that was 2 years after I started working. But there's no reason to finish. I finished the academics of my master's. I didn't do my thesis, and I said, I didn't. Who needs an MBA, by the way? No one looks for it. No one looks for it in the country. So I didn't finish it. In 2009, I went back to the school and asked, can I finish my master's? And surprisingly, they said, yes, just take up 5 subjects. And I did that. I took up the 5 subjects and I graduated from my master's degree in 2011. And I always say I finished my master's in 29 years. 29 years. And it's never too late. It's never, ever too late. And after I finished my master's, my friends who are about my age did the same thing. And I always, always say one thing. If I can do it, so can you. And if you can do it, anyone else can do it.
Boy, that sounds like a motto that we both have.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I think I said that to you at one point at about 4 a.m. one morning.
Oh, yes, you did. You did. You did about Facebook Live, and now I'm doing Facebook Live. And thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
Thank you for all the advice.
You're welcome.
Yes, it was 4 a.m. your time.
Yeah. When Penny calls, I pick up the phone. That important. Yeah, and I think that calling, like you, in that point in time, you were the leader in that aspect. You didn't sit there and go, I can't do this. You just saw that, and I don't know if that would be count as one of the clean up your messes or not, but you saw that was still lingering out there, and you just did it. But then everybody else saw that you did it and went, oh yeah, I can do that too. It only takes one person to lead.
Thank you for telling me I'm a leader, because there were times in my life that I was telling myself I'm not good enough. I wasn't good enough. I remember having attended Breakthrough to Success sometime in 2013. Was it 2013 or 2014? And Jack asked on the first day with my jet lag, he asked, who wants to say something? And since I'm really short, I decided to stay in front, because if I stay at the back, I won't see anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I raised my hand, scaringly raised my hand. I said, me? And the microphone was given to me. And I said, I'm Penny from the Philippines, and it scares the out of me holding this mic, because I come from the Philippines. It's in Southeast Asia. I'm scared, and you're all foreigners, and they're all whites, and I don't know why I'm holding this mic, but I'm telling you, I will conquer my fear, and I will be speaking as much as I can, because I want to get out of my comfort zone. And that started it all. I realized that we're all the same. All of us have fears. All of us think we're not good enough. But there's something in us that's so different from others. And there's something in us that can help others shine. And that's what you and I are here for.
Mm-hmm.
Helping others as well.
Where do you think that fear came from?
Oh, that fear came from when I was a child. My story is, I'm the sixth of six siblings, and my friends know this. I'm the sixth of six siblings, and my brother was already 5 years old when I was born. So he was the youngest already. So he hated me for being born, because he was already the youngest, spoiled, and so on and so forth. And he was saying, you're just adopted. You're not really from our parents. We just
Mm-hmm.
found you in the poop of a carabao, the usual thing here in the Philippines. And they said, you're not good enough. You're not good enough. And it was re-emphasized when I was working, when I was a newly promoted manager, and my boss gave me a project, and I took the project on. I said, I can do it. However, I needed advice. So I went to my boss and I asked my boss, can you help me? And my boss said, don't tell me you don't know that. That's so simple. He did say that. For my Filipino friends, I'll say it in Tagalog. He said, yan lang hindi mo alam. Just that you don't know. So that took me aback. And I said, wow, my boss is telling me that. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I don't deserve the promotion.
Mm-hmm.
And then that started me thinking, what if I can do it? So I talked to my mentor, and my mentor, who was my other boss, a friend of mine in the same company, said, no, you can. And we started listening to Earl Nightingale, Lead the Fields of Earl Nightingale. In 1990s, 1990s, I was already listening to motivational cassette tapes at that time. Yeah, cassette tapes at that time. Diamond in the Rough. Oh, my favorite of all the Earl Nightingale tapes, Diamond in the Rough. And I said, I have what it takes to be successful. And successful doesn't need to be becoming a general manager or becoming, having a nice house in Hawaii or in the Philippines, in Ayala, Alabang. I've lived in my house. This is my house. We've lived here all my life. and I'm happy where I am. So I realize that all of us have gifts, that I am good enough. I am good in my own way. I am more than good in many ways. And I'd like to be able to share my gifts with others. Because at the end of the day, and this is my mantra, at the end of the day, when I face my maker and the Lord asked me, did you use the gifts that I gave you to the best of your ability? And I could honestly say I did the best I can.
Wow.
So a day at a time.
I got to tell you a couple of things here.
Mhm.
One, we're very similar. So one, I am the youngest of 5.
Mm-hmm.
4 older sisters.
Wow.
I'm the only boy, and there's 5 years in between me and the youngest sister.
Oh, similar. Similar. You understand, yeah.
You're like
Yes.
this, right?
Yes. Yes.
Oh yeah. And I won't say what they used to say to me. It was very similar to what yours were. So I'm like sitting there going, that's why I was grinning while you were saying that. I'm like going, whoa, this is like, okay, so we're all kind of the same in this world. Okay. Yeah. Isn't that amazing though, how just one person telling you that you can do something can erase all of that. Oh, you should know that, or you can't do that, or whatever that is. I mean, in America, a lot of times it's you're a woman, you can't do that. For years, it was that way. And I grew up with 4 older sisters, so let me tell you, the toilet seat is always down. Otherwise, you paid dues for it. There was, yeah. So yeah, I get it. And I was always taught that aspect. So I always put women on a pedestal. There was always like strength involved with that. So I was kind of like that. But it's amazing how just one person that can come into your life and then just make such a difference. I mean, everybody has that one teacher, that one supervisor, that one whatever it is that just made you feel special. And then all of a sudden you're like, kind of opens everything up for you. It opens your heart up. Instead of blocking it, it's like you open it up and then you start really living your purpose.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Yesterday when it's the end of my class, since we did the final exam, and one of my students asked me, Miss Penny, are you teaching any other subject? I said, no, this is the only subject that I'm teaching. And I asked her why. And she said, because we enjoyed every moment of our class. Perhaps it's not the HR lessons that I'm teaching that you have taught us, it's the life lessons that you've taught us. And for me, you know how much teachers get paid. The salary of teachers are not very, very high. And sometimes I give gifts, sometimes I give prizes, Starbucks GCs for my students. And I just love it. I just love being able to touch the lives of young people, asking them that they can do better, that they can be the best that they can be, so that they can, dream big and live a happy life.
And what ages are your students?
18, 19, 20.
Okay.
And some of them are now pilots, some of them are now flight attendants, shifted careers from HR to different areas. So sure. I just love being able to touch the lives of the young ones, because I was young once, ONCE. And I had my role models as well. So it's time to give back.
So is that what your inspiration is for touching 100,000 lives?
Yes and no. Yes, because that's my sphere of influence, my circle of influence. Mm-hmm. However, I realize that the people who really need it are the people in the countryside. So I'm now working with countryside, meaning outside Metro Manila. So I am now having a vision board workshop in Cebu. Cebu is an hour plane ride from Manila, where I live. That's in the middle part of the Philippines. And I'm hoping to do a vision board workshop or a success principles workshop in other parts of the country. And why is that so? Because they are the ones who need it most, because they are the ones who say, I'm only like this. I can, my father is a tricycle driver. I'm sure you don't know what a tricycle is. It's like a tuk-tuk in Thailand.
Give me more of a description.
Tricycle is like a motorcycle with a passenger seat, not at the back, but at
With
the
a side.
with a sidecar. Yes, a sidecar. So they would say my father is just a tricycle driver, and my mother just washes clothes, or just a housemaid. So we were born poor. This is the only thing I know how to do. And I keep on saying, like what we know, if you were born poor, it's not your fault. But if you die poor, it's your fault, because you are in control of your life. So I want them to think of that. I want them to take control of their lives, because it's really up to them.
Wow. That's pretty cool. And you're flying an hour away. So what type of an airplane do you fly in?
It's Philippine Airlines. It's the regular.
So it's a jet.
It's just like your United Airlines, your American Airlines. Yeah. It's the one to Cebu. Cebu flies to Singapore. The Philippine airline, our flag carrier, where my daughter works, and my daughter-in-law works. It's a 4-star carrier of the Philippines. It's the flagship carrier. They fly from Manila to other parts of the world. And Philippine Airlines also flies from Cebu to other parts of the world. So I'm flying from Manila to Cebu to conduct this workshop. And I've done this workshop in Zamboanga. And where is Zamboanga? If this is the Philippines and Metro Manila is here, Zamboanga is at the bottom tip of the country, which is near Malaysia, Indonesia, and they speak the other languages. They don't speak Filipino anymore. That's why I want to go to areas like that for Filipinos to be able to dream big. And I know people will get mad at me if I say this, but I will. For Filipinos not to dream to be domestic helpers in the Middle Eastern countries like Saudi and Kuwait, because their religion is Muslim, is Islam, and different from our religion. And sometimes in those countries, they don't allow the Catholics to practice their religion. And for us Filipinos, our faith is so important.
And your faith is mostly Catholic there? Is that what you said?
Catholic and Christians.
Catholic and Christian, okay. Wow. So how long of a plane ride is it an hour then to that southern point one?
An hour and a half.
Hour and a half, okay. So is
distance
most used travel then?
Oh, so you don't know the Philippines. The Philippines is made up.
No, tell me.
Okay. The Philippines is made up of 7,108 islands on low tide and 7,107 islands on high tide. An island disappears. It's an archipelago. So for us to travel to other parts of the country, we have to fly. For us to be able to travel to Hong Kong or to Singapore, to Malaysia, to any other country, we have to fly or take a boat. It's not like US going to Canada, you just cross the border.
Yeah.
There's no such thing here. No such thing.
Wow. So you have to fly everywhere. That's got to be costly.
We have 3 parts of the Philippines. We have Luzon, which you can travel inland. There is the Mega Manila area where the Central Business District is, and there is Cebu, which is in the this part of the Philippines, and Mindanao, which is in the lower part of the Philippines. And if you have to travel from Luzon, Metro Manila, to Cebu, you have to fly. You have to travel from Manila to Davao, where our president comes from, the southern part of the Philippines. You have to fly. That's about an hour and a half plane ride away. And just to think, an hour and a half plane ride away to that part of the country is just like going to Hong Kong, an hour and a half away.
Just the opposite direction.
Just the opposite direction. Yes.
Wow. So that's wow. I just can't. If for people in America to fathom that is just because we're so used to, we are very spoiled. You've been to America, so you know how this is.
Yes. Yes.
We're very spoiled. It's you're used to just going in your car and driving wherever you want and just jumping on the highway, freeways, whatever it is, and it's like you just go. I mean, to be held up by a plane or weather and things of that sort, it's like that. It is a mode of travel, but it's not your typical mode of travel in the United States. Usually, it's just jump in the car and go. So yeah, that's just pretty cool. So people are, I'm going to assume, and correct me, okay? I'm going to assume that people stay within their area for a long period. I mean, you don't usually just fly every day to this place or that. Then you're probably staying in your area for a long time, years probably.
Actually, for people outside the metropolis, the urban district, they fly to the urban district to find work. The mode of transportation here is not a car. Yes, it's a car, but not everyone has a car. Mm-hmm. It's very expensive to have a car. Gasoline prices now, especially now, is more than $1, 10 cents per liter, not even per gallon. So it's very expensive. We have modes of transportation here, which is called a jeepney, from the American jeepney, the ones that you left after World War II, and we made it a mode of transportation.
Yes. Seriously?
Seriously. I don't have a jeepney here in my room, but it's the jeepney. The jeepney became a mode of transportation. And cost of jeepney is 8 pesos, which is, how much is it? 9 pesos now, which is 10 cents, about 10, 15 cents. But when it rains, it rains. You get wet. You have to have an umbrella. We do have Grab, which is Lyft, which is like Lyft.
Okay.
Uber has been suspended in the Philippines. We do have the train system, but it's not as effective as we want it to be because it's very limited lines and it's only in Metro Manila. We don't have subways because it floods here. So if it's subway, it will get flooded. It's over. We have skyways, but one of the things that, remember, we're still a developing country. One of the things that we need to do is really build infrastructure. And I think that's what the government is after. Really building infrastructure in all different parts of the country. Hoping it happens.
I'm slacking here on the comments. I got too much into our conversation, so let me hit some of these. There you go. I got the thumbs up there. Penny says, or Denise says hi to us.
Hi, Denise. I watched your video.
She was, and then she said siblings. Ugh.
Oh.
And at some point she said, wow, I love that. Ivy says, on point.
Yeah.
Gracie gives you a thumbs up.
Oh, hi. Not Gracie. Hi, AC. She was my former office mate. And we just had lunch a couple of days ago.
Nice. And yes, John, the U.S. Army Jeep. That's what we're talking about. Yep.
U.S. Army Jeep that we converted to a public transportation. And you'll get amazed. If you come to the Philippines, the U.S. Army Jeep was extended and the body had recessed it, adding a roofing. You can fit 30 people in a jeepney.
What?
And it's I'll send you a photo. I'll send you a photo of a jeepney. And
I can't even believe that they're still working.
and it's so colorful. It's a different jeepney from what you left. Your jeepney, the U.S. jeepney, was so small.
Yeah.
The Filipinos created very creative ingenuity by building longer jeeps. Filipino created longer jeeps wherein you can, and now some have made it air conditioned.
And you need that there.
Oh yes, it's very
Yeah.
humid here.
Very humid. Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
And this part of the year, it's always raining.
There you go, with ornaments.
Oh yes, I remember. I have a story there. I have an American person, American friend who was assigned to the Philippines, and she said, "Penny, I want to ride a jeepney. I want to ride a jeepney." Okay, let's ride the jeepney. Are you sure you want to ride the jeepney? And she said, "Yeah." She's a tall lady, a rather big lady, and she sat inside the jeepney. And the jeepney driver, and she said hello to the jeepney driver, and the jeepney driver turned around and said, "Welcome." Wow, that was the first time I heard a jeepney driver said welcome to anyone. So he wanted to have a good passenger experience. That was a very good passenger experience.
Nice.
So I want, again, going back, I want Filipinos to dream bigger, even just that. Even the passenger experience is so important. And now, as Ricky mentioned in his comments, we now have e-jeepneys. E-jeepneys that are run on electric. So
that's what the E is. I was like, what's that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, but very few. We had hybrid buses. So we're moving into the eco-conserve type.
Yeah. I would think, and any island or anything that is so remote, I would think solar would be just phenomenal.
You would be surprised. We don't have much solar panels.
Yeah.
We do have, but it's expensive. So not many would have solar panels.
Mhm.
It's disappointing, and I'll reveal some of my disappointments here. You know, some companies are donating computers to schools, so public schools, because some of our public schools don't have computers, are not provided computers, or they have limited computers. And the question that the principals of the public schools would have is, where do we get money for electricity, because it's not being funded by the government? And the answer to that is solar panels. So we're trying to work with SunPower and some other of the providers of solar panels to donate solar panels to schools. However, we have more than 2,300 public schools, or more than. So I don't know how many can donate that. And don't forget, we are in the typhoon area. If you remember Typhoon Hanan, which destroyed and killed thousands of lives in the Philippines, and we were all caught by surprise because there was a big storm surge. And we Filipinos, if you say storm surge, what is storm surge? How do you translate that into Tagalog? So they didn't even know what storm surge was because it was in English.
No. So they couldn't even, you couldn't even translate it to something. So they couldn't fathom what it was.
Yes. And now we're able to translate it. Now people are getting alerts on their mobiles. We're getting alerts on our mobiles to say, orange alert, heavy rainfall; red alert, heavy rainfall may cause traffic, might cause flooding. So now we're getting those alerts. Thank you to our government. At least they're doing that for the countrymen.
Yeah. Where would you go?
The best place to go is highland, or if you have, I have a 3-story house. I have a very small house, but it's up, going up. So go to the highest place. And some people who were rescued on the roof. And the low-lying areas, as I said, we have 7,108 islands. The low-lying areas, even if the government agencies tell them to leave, they don't leave because they want to protect their properties. I think that's similar to other places where in there are bushfires and so on. So it's lives first before anything. Everything else you can rebuild. Your life you can't rebuild.
Right. Exactly. I didn't want to get off on a tangent there on Philippines, but
Yeah, I know.
Thank you for that. So when you're doing, so you're reaching out to, you're at 25,000 lives that you've touched so far and inspired, because you're an inspiration just to talk to. So I'm not in the Philippines. Can a person from Wisconsin be one? No, doesn't count.
Oh yeah. As long as you talk, and I posted this in LinkedIn. If you are in other countries and you speak to other Filipinos who are there, and I would have a condition, as long as they're not dual citizen, meaning American and Filipino, they're just purely Filipino, and you're able to help them, inspire them, and be the best that they can be, then I will count that. So it's not just me counting. I've had people say, please add 42 to your count. I was able to talk to 42 people. So I add those because I know I can't do that alone. I know that perhaps I can do that if I have a TV show or a radio show. I've guested in radio programs already. I don't know how many people have listened to that radio broadcast. I talk about my book. I talk about goal setting and visualization and affirmation. And when I talk to people about visualization, I tell them the movie. I hope you'll watch the movie with The Greatest Showman.
Yeah.
Love it, right? Love it. I love it. And just The Greatest Showman, the beginning of that movie, he was already visualizing that he was the greatest showman. Yet, in fact, he was just a kid. And just the song A Million Dreams just captures it all. And if you watch the movie through completion, one of the things that he sacrificed in that movie was his relationship, because he was really pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing to do something better for himself, and yet forgot about his relationships. That's why I believe that, when you set goals in your life, it has to be balanced. It has to be, health and fun and financial and all the different aspects, and giving back as well. Mm-hmm. So what I'm doing is both my career and my contribution. And I just love doing it. But but I get tired too, so I need to rest.
You not at 7 a.m.
Not at 7 a.m. No, I was awake at 4:30 to do my meditation
and thank you for doing that. I appreciate that. If people want to get a hold of you, best way is
through LinkedIn. You can find me on LinkedIn. My full name is Ana Maria, very Spanish. Ana Maria, and it has parentheses that says Penny Bongato. Or you can find me on Facebook at Penny Bongato / Success and HR Mentor, or my personal Facebook pages, Penny Sicangco Bongato, you'll see that, and Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. I don't have a website yet. It's still being constructed since I just got out of corporate a couple of months back.
Yeah.
Or you can email me at penny@pennybongato.com.
I think I have that one for you. Let me flash that one up for you. And do you do any coaching if there's someone outside the Philippines that wanted to talk to you? And do you do any coaching that way? Tell us everything that you do.
Okay, I do. I'm a professional. I'm a motivational speaker. I do the success principles training. I do vision board workshops. I do HR because my line is human resources. I'm speaking in a school, in fact, on Friday on HR. So I do a lot of talks on talent acquisition, on leadership development, on employee engagement, anything related to HR, anything related to HR in the BPO space, in the business process outsourcing space. I do coaching. So I have several coaches right now. And would you believe, and this is something that I'd like to say, most of my coaches, paying coaches, are foreigners because Filipinos don't like to invest in themselves uh, unless the company invests in them. The company pays. I had a person asking yesterday, how much is coaching? How much is life coaching? And I was telling them, a life coach would cost you about 1,000 to 3,000 pesos an hour. How much is that? $10, $20. I know a little over, no, maybe about not $100, less than $100, $80 an hour. And they said, it's too expensive. Too expensive. $80 an hour. And I said, this is for you. You're investing in yourself. No, it's too expensive. Wow. I can't believe it. I've had a life coach for the past 12 years, and it has changed my life. It has really changed my life.
Yeah,
So,
amazing
for Filipinos,
to give you direction.
yes, they do. For Filipinos and for foreigners who'd like to be coached by me, you can get in touch with me. Oh, it doesn't have a Sicangco in the middle.
Oh,
So it's pennybongato.com. So penny@pennybongato.com is my email address.
all right.
So for those who want to be coached, and my friends are listening, difficult to coach friends. I have other friends who are coaches as well. I'm a member of the ICF, International Coach Federation Global. I'm also a member of International Coach Federation Philippines. So if you're my friend, I can't coach you because you can't coach a very good friend. I have to refer you to someone else. So I have friends who are coaches. And don't worry, this is for you. If you've seen my book, Career Shift, I'm coming up with a new book next year, hopefully next year. And it's about investing in yourself, invest in you, investment shift or something. Because it's time for you to invest in yourself, whether it's health, whether it's financial, whether it's learning. Because I am my age, but I will not stop learning. I will continue to learn. And I attended a workshop called Design Thinking, and whoa, it was a new kind of thinking. So I have to unlearn what I've learned and relearn something new. That's the way how life goes.
Those neurons all working, fired up. Yeah,
Yes.
keep them firing in there.
Yes. And
So
it prevents Alzheimer's. So
there you go. Exactly. Exactly.
yeah.
So if someone wants to hire you for doing a talk or or for speaking or doing workshops and that, you're available for that too.
Yes.
Coaching, one-on-one coaching. Do you do group coaching also?
I've never tried group coaching, but I'm also willing to learn that. I'm hoping to get a big engagement and coaching in the next couple of days. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed because this is a 5-month coaching engagement with a company. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed for that.
Wow.
I just love helping. Yeah, keep your fingers crossed for me. This is a big one.
When do you find out?
And this week, my breakthrough goal. Tell you my breakthrough goal. My breakthrough goal is to get my ACC certification.
And what is
ACC certification. Accredited certified associate certified coach in ICF. That's the next level of certification. So,
nice.
So I know I will get there.
Yeah, you're on your way.
I know. I'm happy.
Yeah.
And thank you.
So,
and Dave is helping me.
Thank you.
Helping me.
Thank you for coming on. Thank you for bearing with it because it took us quite a while. If you didn't catch the first part of the show. It did take us quite a while to coordinate this because of the time difference, you know. So you're ready to probably get on with your day, and I'm ready to get to bed. Almost. Not quite there yet, but
yes.
yeah.
And I thank you. I thank you, Dave. Thank you very much for speaking with me at your 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Our first time to speak. And thank you for having me here.
Yeah.
You know, I am new to all these live things, but you were the ones who encouraged me to do this. And if you notice in my Facebook, I've been doing lives even in Club Paradise, even in the beach where I was going to conduct a workshop.
Yeah.
And I conquered my fear of Facebook Live, and I conquered my fear of the beach, and I went snorkeling. Wow, it was such an experience. And I'm learning so much from you. So thank you so much for having me.
I sit there and I watch you. I lurk from behind the scenes. I know I'm watching you do the Facebook Lives and going, oh, she's doing it. I love it.
Yeah.
I get all giddy.
Yeah. And you see me sometimes like that, sometimes like that. I'm learning. I'm learning. People make mistakes, and I'm just human.
Oh, but that's what makes it so cool on any of these Facebook Lives.
Yeah.
It's just that, it's just being, and everybody loves them. It's like everybody's doing them. So it's great. And you're doing great.
And thank you.
Loving it.
Thank you.
All right. I think that's wrapping up. You want any final words?
Okay. Thank you for giving me the chance to be your guest for tonight, this morning. And I encourage everyone, particularly in the Philippines, if you're listening and watching now, I have this goal of touching 100,000 Filipino lives for us, for our countrymen to dream bigger and to dream big and even bigger. And help me achieve this goal, because this is not just for me, this is for our children and our children's children. And for those outside the country, please help me with my goal. I know in every part of the world there are Filipinos. Please help them to dream big as well, and perhaps come home. Perhaps come home or retire at home. It's best to retire in the country where they come from. There are a lot of retirement homes in the Philippines, by the way. So help me with my goal. And if you need to get in touch with me, and Dave flashed it already, penny@pennybongato.com. You can find me on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on Instagram, and on my several Facebook pages. So I do life coaching, I do career coaching. I'm a motivational speaker. I can speak for 1 hour, 30 minutes, half day, full day. I love the vision board workshop. I feel that it's the start of really visualizing, writing your goals and visualizing it. And I wish I could do it every day. So thank you. Thank you very much, Dave.
Oh, you're welcome. We'll be back here next week. I'll have another great guest, so stay tuned for that. And till next week, everybody take care. Have a good night, and thank you, Penny.
And thank you, Dave. Good night.
Night. And good morning. Bye. If you like this video, like my Facebook page or subscribe to my YouTube channel, or find everything at davestelma.com.